Hey everyone, so I haven't done any of these in a while where I give my quick thoughts or opinions about a film, especially a long ass film. So the Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League is super entertaining and infinitely better than the original theatrical cut. I loved it. I sat through all 4 hours of it and I felt like it was worth it. Now, does it mean it was like a super perfect film? No, I mean, there are some scenes I felt that could have stayed left out or placed differently in maybe earlier parts in the film. But all in all, I would say it was way, way better than the original theatrical cut. I never felt like I was getting bored because they changed or added or removed so much stuff that it felt like I was watching a completely different film. And yeah, I dig it. I really dig it way more than the original one. Now I remember I left the original movie at the theater with my friend, thinking the movie was just okay, and I had that thought process in my mind because I was thinking that they're never going to fix anything. We're not going to get a better Justice League until many, many, many years later when they finally reboot everything. But Zack Snyder came out one day and said, "Yep, I'm doing the Snyder cut," and that's mostly due to the fans who were very determined to get this man's vision seen, fully seen for this movie. And I applaud the fans. I applaud Zack Snyder, and because of that, we've gotten a better product, a better movie this time around. And I love this movie. I love it so much, way more. Love it way much more than the original. I mean, I didn't really love the original, but I kind of liked it because at the time I was thinking that's the best live action Justice League we're ever going to get. But I was wrong. we've actually gotten we've actually really gotten the best Justice League, live action Justice League we're ever going to get until, they finally reboot it, or if WB changed their mind and decided to say, "Hey, Zack Snyder, please come work for us again and make Justice League 2 or something." Um, but yeah, man, they changed, removed, and added so many things that this does feel like watching a completely different movie. I mean, the introduction to Flash was all different. Steppenwolf's updated design, and well, yeah, his design, I loved his new look, by the way. Way better than the original theatrical version. The way he invades Themyscira was mostly all different. It looked like there was a lot added to that scene that was very entertaining. Also, I gotta say, let's talk about Darkseid. He is very intimidating. uh, please do not draw comparisons between him and Thanos because there's two different comic book properties, two different universes, two different Titans. Plus, movie version of Thanos wasn't really like the comic book version of Thanos. If you're a hardcore comic book fan, you know what I'm talking about. Even though, yeah, I still enjoyed Infinity War and Endgame. However, let's talk about Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. I'm so glad that he introduced, or actually decided to put in, Darkseid or Darkseid. I don't know how most people pronounce his name. They usually call him Darkseid. A lot of people actually call him Darkseid. I like to stick with Darkseid. I don't know. I just think that sounds cooler. But yeah, you get a lot of him in a flashback scene where he's fighting off was it the new gods or the old gods? I can't remember, but he's fighting off some of the gods like Zeus and Ares and them, and he's even fighting a Green Lantern at one point. It was awesome. I loved it. And then you also get scenes with him and Steppenwolf and Desaad, which is also another, like, I guess, henchman of Darkseid, or the Apocalypse, whatever you want to call the planet they're on. I don't know if he was on Apocalypse. You do get to see Granny Goodness, but yeah, this Darkseid, very much like comic book Darkseid. Like, he was always brooding and just had this really serious, grunting appearance on his face, and he had his glowing eyes, and he just looked really intimidating, and I just love his design. And the fact that we got a live action version of Darkseid is just awesome. Really awesome. What else do I want to talk about? Oh man, there's just so much to cover for a 4-hour film, but I don't want this to be a long ass video. So I'll just kind of just breeze through a lot of things. So, oh, geez, Cyborg, you get more Cyborg in this film. You even get a Cyborg backstory showing things that was going on between him and his parents. So you get to feel some kind of sentimental connection with him. The Superman's resurrection, there was a few more things added to that whole fight scene. And the way that whole scene ended was pretty similar to the original theatrical cut. However, there is a major difference between Superman and Batman's confrontation. That's all I'll say without spoiling too much. Oh, the team dynamic it just felt a lot better this time around. Like, less jokes. I mean, there's still jokes in this film. I would say most of the jokes come from mainly Barry Allen, the Flash, and there's some little bit of jokes between Alfred and some of the other characters as well. Oh, you get more scenes with Aquaman in the Fisherman Village or wherever that town was he was at, and you also get more scenes with him in or around Atlantis. I'm not sure what or where. I'm not sure what location they were at during that one scene where he's talking to the character that's kind of like his mentor from the Aquaman movie. He's played by William Dafoe. I keep forgetting his name. But yeah, he's actually in the film, and you get to see some, dialogue between them. And, oh man, Flash is the true MVP. May I say that? Flash is the true MVP of this movie. Once you see what he does, it is amazing. And also, other scenes involving the Flash was amazing as well. Oh, and by the way, that weird, awkward shot of Flash falling between Wonder Woman's boobs, they removed that completely. That's not in here. Instead, you see Diana landing on her feet because she is a goddamn warrior, goddammit. And I think Flash, I think he got knocked out by tripping, and then I do remember seeing him run after that, but I think he just kind of like ran into the wall or something. Can't remember exactly, but it was a whole badass scene with Diana versus Steppenwolf during the tunnel sequence, and oh man, I love that sequence. Oh, and Wonder Woman. Can somebody please explain or tell me if that was a updated Wonder Woman theme? Because it sounded like it was updated just a tad bit. Like, it did sound like the Wonder Woman theme that's always used for I guess that was originally started in Batman v Superman, but it sounded a little bit updated, and I loved it. I loved it, especially during her battle scene with Steppenwolf. It was just very visceral and raw, and the introduction scene to Wonder Woman is kind of the same as the original version with the whole bank robbery scene. There's some more scenes that were added during that whole sequence where it almost felt like a Christopher Nolan movie, but she messes some dudes up, and oh man, she's awesome. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. See, I love that version of Wonder Woman. I even loved her version in her own movie, the first one. Not so much with Wonder Woman 1984. That one felt a little bit brighter and toned down, and the way they just skimmed over, they just kind of just passed right over Cheetah's transformation. Oh, by the way, her whole origin story, Cheetah's origin story, is way different in Wonder Woman 1984 than the comics. But anyways, we're not talking about that. I should say I like Zack Snyder's version of Wonder Woman more than Patty Jenkins' version of Wonder Woman. But to be fair, Patty Jenkins' version of Wonder Woman in her first film, infinitely better than her version in the second movie, where, her costume's a little bit brighter, everything's just, I don't know, a little bit more brighter and toned down. for the Wonder Woman 1984 film, but yes, her scenes in the Snyder cut for Justice League is badass, man. She is a goddamn warrior, and I love every minute of her action scenes. Um, Speaking of the action, oh my god, the action and the score is on point. I love the score in this film. I want to actually buy the soundtrack for the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League now after watching this movie, and the action is infinitely better, so much more improved, especially the final action sequence where they all have to I think they're invading that one warehouse in Moscow, I think they were at, and they're all going up against the parademons. There was so much that was changed about that scene where it was just off the wall craziness, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. There was even a cool money shot where all of them jumping together, and it was just it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And oh yes, let's talk about Superman's return in the black suit. Now, I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil too much. All I'm going to say is it was awesome. Really awesome. Zack Snyder really knows how to show how powerful Superman is. And I almost had a tear coming out of my eyes because I was like, man, yeah, Superman is just pretty goddamn powerful. Oh, I loved every moment of it. And I wanted the black suit when I saw the theatrical cut. I was like, man, that's odd how they didn't include the black suit in there. But Zack Snyder did it for his version of the movie, and I loved it. The only thing, though, is the line that he says when he returns to help the team fight Steppenwolf. They changed that line, by the way. I believe in the original cut, he says, well, I stand for truth and justice, or something like that. I can't remember the line exactly. In the Snyder cut, it's different, and it's an okay line that he says, but I just wish... I don't know. I wish it would have been a different line than what he says in the Snyder cut. But however, the action made up for it. And of course, once again, Flash is the true MVP. My gosh. And who else? Did I miss anybody? I talked about Aquaman, Cyborg, Flash, Wonder Woman. Oh, Batman. I didn't talk enough about Batman. Man, I can't remember if he had a lot of... Well, he had mostly a lot of scenes as Bruce Wayne, more than he did as Batman. I mean, you don't really get to see a lot of action scenes with him as Batman until the tunnel sequence, where everybody's fighting the parademons and Wonder Woman is fighting Steppenwolf, and you get to see more of him as Batman during the final action sequence. So... yeah, I would say not really a lot of Batman. Well, yeah, there's that scene where they have to resurrect Superman. He's dressed as Batman, but I want to say there was much action going on there with him, mostly between Superman and the rest of the team. And the Joker, or should I say Nightmare Joker? I feel like I shouldn't really talk about that because it might be... well, it's not really a spoiler because it doesn't really add anything to the film. And that's the entire sequence. I felt like they should have either placed that earlier on in somewhere in the film, like in the middle somewhere, or just leave it out completely. That just felt like it was just fan service. It honestly felt like it's fan service, that entire nightmare scene. Oh, yeah, there's also another hero. Well... you guys will have to see the movies for yourself to see who I'm talking about. But there is another character who is seen, I think, before the halfway mark in the film. I can't remember what timestamp it was, but all I'm going to say is look out for a scene where Martha is talking with Lois, and you get to see that character's reveal, and you get to see that character again later on towards the end. But that's all I could really say without, giving away spoilers, and spoilers here, spoilers there, spoilers everywhere. But that character didn't really have much to do. I felt like he was thrown in there just to kind of plant the seeds for future sequels, which we may or may not see. But, man, is there anyone I'm forgetting? Man, I felt like I talked about all the main characters, the main heroes, and of course, I did talk about Darkseid, Steppenwolf, and those are the only really main villains you see a lot. Well, besides Desaad, who's like another right-hand man of Darkseid. And of course, you do see a little bit of Granny Goodness. At least I'm assuming that was Granny Goodness that was standing by his side. But, oh man, the way the team handled Steppenwolf, the way that whole sequence went down was so much different than the original version, and I loved every minute of it. So anyways, I would give Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League a 9 out of 10. I'd give it a total 9 out of 10. The original one, I think I gave it about a 5 or 6. And now after seeing this one, man, yeah, this one, the original cut does not exist to me anymore. But obviously, it has to exist so people can see, the differences between these two films and see the difference between the studio version and the vision of the director for his version. So, yeah, 9 out of 10. I love this version. This is the version that, of course, I will watch from now on. Unless, someone has never seen Justice League before, and I would be like, okay, time to give them an educational history lesson and show them the original cut and show them the Zack Snyder cut. But, yeah, I love this film. This is well, I don't know if I want to say it, but I think I'm going to say it. This is the DC Justice League movie that DC fans deserve way more than what we gotten a few years back with the Joss Whedon cut. This is pretty much, the Avengers for DC fans, and this is something that we should have gotten before, but of course, there were some obvious, I guess, events. I'm not sure of the proper word I want to use. Certain events, certain situations that happened that prevented Zack Snyder from getting his full version out there. Now, I'm not sure if this would work in theaters as a full, 4-hour long movie. Maybe if they would have split it up in 2 cuts, like maybe 2-hour cut for part 1, and then there were other 2 hours for part 2. I think it could work in theaters by doing it that way. But just having the whole thing in theaters as a 4-hour long cut, no, I felt like they made the right choice by putting it on HBO Max and not separate it either. Not making it episodic, just giving it all in one long film. Of course, now they did kind of split it up in chapters where you see like the screen goes black and the name of the chapters will appear on the screen. So it would do that after each hour or so. Or not after each hour, because I think there's a total of 6 chapters and there's the epilogue. So they split it up for about, I don't know, every 30 minutes, I would say, maybe 30, 25 minutes, whatever, around there. But, yeah, I was never bored, and I love this version of Justice League. I love Zack Snyder's vision of this movie so much more than that original cut. Alright, so this was supposed to be my quick thoughts, but man, there was just so much to talk about. I mean, how could you cover a 4-hour long movie under 10 minutes? You just can't. So I'm just kind of rushing through everything here, telling you guys what I thought. And yeah, I'll see you guys again for another one of these type of videos when Godzilla vs. Kong comes out. And I might do this again for Mortal Kombat, because I grew up since the first game. Well, I should say I grew up on all of the games, not just the first game, all of the games, of course, and the original films. I saw the original Mortal Kombat movie in theaters, by the way, and it was everything. It became part of my childhood. Alright. Sorry, this went on for way too long. I have some videos I need to get together. There's a toy hunting video I need to get together. I have to add some post-commentary to that. I might have a bonus toy hunt, depending on how things go this week and next week. And, of course, my end-of-the-month toy haul. And I'll see you guys then. Later. Stay awesome.